Hello and welcome back to the Harvest Cardigan tutorial knit along. This week we will be separating the sleeves and the body. So you should be up to that point. That is page 3 on your pattern. And if you needed to do rows 5, 6, 7 and 8 for the larger sizes, then you should have already done those before you begin this one. So please double check your pattern that you are where you need to be for the separation of the body and the sleeves. So for this section you are going to need some waste yarn to put your sleeves, the stitches that are going to be your sleeves, onto, and a darning needle or a big enough needle for that, so you can thread it through those stitches when we get there. So if you haven't got that, if you like to stop this video now and go and find those. You will also need a pair of scissors to snip those as well. Okay, so we'll begin the next row. So as I say, we're following at the bottom of page 3 where it says separate sleeves and body, and it says we're going to remove all the markers except for the first and last one. So we're just leaving in the markers that are going to show these garter stitch panels down the front. So all the other ones for the increases are going to be taken out as we go. So please check your pattern for how many stitches you need to be working with. I suggest, as always, that you take a pencil or a highlighter and mark it before you start, so you know exactly, you can double check that you'll be doing the right amount of stitches. So I have prepared mine already, and I've just highlighted what I'll need. So we're going to start off with our knit, and I am going to do 39 stitches. As I say, we go past that marker, but we're going to leave that marker in. So just slip that marker over as you get to it. And just take that marker out when you get to that point, and then we're going to put those stitches that are for the sleeve onto waste yarn. So if you just take your needle and thread up a piece of your waste yarn, and we're literally just going to thread it on, being careful not to lose any stitches. As I say, check how many stitches you need to be putting on there. It should be all of those arm stitches. It's always easier. There's a gap at the bottom, so if you just push it through that gap, it goes on a lot easier. And just threading it through. Be careful of your other end, you don't pull it too far through. If you did the flax, then this is the same as we did for the flax. So it's just keeping the stitches out the way until we come to them and need them. So we can take that stitch marker off because we don't need that anymore. Take your needle at the end and then just tie it into a good knot. You don't want, if this is going to be coming in and out of your project bag, you don't want this to come loose, so you really want to make sure it's a strong knot. Leave your stitches enough room so they can move around, so they're happy. So that's what you have. So you've got your 2 needles, and then in between you've got those armhole stitches. So now we need to now we need to cast on some stitches in between those, so there's more room for movement, so we don't just join those up and then you'll have a very small armhole. So if you turn your work around, so you're facing the purl row, and then we're going to cast on, just check your pattern how many you need to cast on. I'm casting on 8. So you just go as if to knit, but then put that stitch onto the other one. So that's all we're doing to cast on. So go to knit, just normal cast on, but we're just on the other side, so we're on the inside, the purl side. So we're going back where we've come from in effect, but it's bringing those stitches out. So as if to knit, but then you put the loop back on the needle. So I'm doing 8. And then when you have enough stitches, just turn your work round again. And there you have your extra stitches added on to where you already have been. Okay, and then we're going to knit across the back to the other armhole. So this is just straight knitting all the way across. Sorry for the clanging. Stitch markers. It won't be so bad once we've taken all these stitch markers out, but at the moment on a wooden table they're a bit noisy, sorry. I've really been enjoying this yarn that I've chosen. It's the first time I've used this yarn. It's West Yorkshire Spinners and it's the Fusion, and it feels really nice. It's the same as their sock yarn that I've used quite a lot, so I know when I wash it it's going to be even softer. I'm really looking forward to wearing it in the autumn. And I'm loving how the colours are working through as well. I'm just coming up to that next marker now. just take that marker off, and then we need to get another length of spare yarn and a needle. So just thread that up, and we put those arm stitches onto this one, so making sure that the stitches are well away from the top of that other needle while we're not keeping an eye on it so they don't come off, and then just putting that needle through the bottom to just gather up those stitches. Missed one there. And making sure you get all those stitches. We don't want any casualties. No one gets left behind. So keep an eye on the other end to make sure that other end doesn't come out. Just gather up those stitches, take out the other marker, and then we're going to give that a good knot to keep those safe on there. Pulling that other one back so we don't lose any of those stitches. Move into a nice tight little knot, and then we're going to have to do some more cast on stitches again for that. So we're going to, when you're ready, turn your work round so we're at the back again, and we're going to go as if to knit, but put the stitch on the needle, knit it and save it. I think that's all of mine. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep. So once you have as many as you need to have from your pattern, turn it around again so you're facing the front of it. Rearrange the yarn, and then we're going to knit across those last stitches. I'm sorry if you can hear my stomach, as always on cue. As soon as I start recording, my stomach starts grumbling. So we're just going to knit across these stitches. And you're all set up with just your body stitches now, and your arms are nice and safe for when you'll need to come back to do those when you finish the whole of the body. Remember to keep the marker in this time for that edge garter stitch, so you know where that is, so when you do your purl rows you know where you've always got to knit. So we're going to keep that marker and then carry on knitting to the end. and that is your setup row done. So I'm going to stop this video here and put the body section onto the next video, which will be up at the same time, fingers crossed this time. Won't have the delays of last time. I'm really sorry about those delays. I had some major uploading issues with these videos. But hopefully we'll be fine this time. So I'm going to put a stop to this video now, and I shall join you in the next video to start the body section. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.